Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the United Kingdom Speedrunner Gathering, Autumn 2021. We'd like to thank you for watching. Normally, we're a two-day speedrunning marathon held 4 times a year in Glasgow, Scotland, but due to the situation with COVID-19, we're bringing you 3 days of exciting speedruns from the comfort of our own homes to yours. Now, I do actually have a donation to read. We have a $10 donation from Laser Trap. They've said, good luck, Rebel, with your XCDEFCAPCMUKSGR. Right, over to you, Rebel.
Thank you, John. Oh, God. Right. Hello, I'm RebelDragon95. Welcome to Xenoblade Chronicles, Future Connected. This is basically a small after game story based around Melia as one of the characters in the main game as like the main character. So we start timing as soon as I click new game. So if you're already on tech for time, I will go in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright then, cool. Right, so the start of this run, we actually start as playing as Melia. Sadly, we don't play as Melia for too long because Shulk is much better to play as for this run. So once this cutscene loads, I'm gonna change the game into casual mode, which basically means you don't have to grind. That's all this category is. It's just any percent without having to sit and grind for a while. Do that. Use casual mode, and then specific movement so I don't fall in the water and lose 3 seconds. Right, cool. So say hi to Melia. This is the only time we get to play as her. We're currently heading over to rescue some the other 2 characters that are in our party for the rest of this, Nene and Kino. Kino we never see in the run either. He's a little nop-on with like a little blaster thing. But we use Nene because she is a pretty decent tank. Right. Let's get that cutscene. Right, it's the first menu here. I've got to go right. Party. Switch you and you. Put you there. Switch you for that, you for that, and you for that. Right, so this first fight here, I'm going to try and get these guys to all stack up against each other. And then I'm going to go for the kill on all of them. Like that. That was perfect. Normally I don't get that, but that's how that's meant to go. Alright. So I'll get into more about combat while I'm doing more movement around, but basically how combat works in this game is your characters will attack automatically, and there was a bar at the bottom which had a bunch of attacks on it. Those are called arts. And basically what those are just special moves that the characters can do. And in this game everything's based around positional attacks giving additional effects. So basically I'll be trying to move into particular positions to get additional effects on my attacks when need be. But most of the time in a lot of the later fights I'm going to be trying to keep the aggro onto Shulk, so enemies are attacking him, while Melia and Nene just go crazy on enemies. I got a hit there. Lovely. Right, so right now I'm moving towards Companion Cape, which is where the story kicks off. So the whole idea is Shulk and Melia crashed while trying to get back up to Melia's home city of Alchemoth, which is at the top of the Bionis, which is the the landmark thing that we're on. So they're going over here to see the other high-end tiers to work out what the hell is happening around here and why they split off from all the other races, because they are all living together after the stories of after the main story of the main part of this game. Alright, cool. So let's skip that, then skip travel. So, the start of this run. So, the first bit of this run is mostly me going around and collecting landmarks. So, in the second half of the run, where it becomes kind of a boss rush, I can just warp around to everywhere that I need to go. So, right now I'm just going to be walking over here, and we're going to get introduced to the other kind of specific mechanic of Future Connected. So, in the main game of this, and in the second game, you have something called a chain attack when your party gauge is built up, which is basically a thing where each party member can do their moves for free, and the whole idea is to keep the to keep the chain going for as long as possible. But instead of that, in this game, you've got these little guys here called the Pond Spectres, and basically they give you a thing called a Union Strike, which is just a big attack that does a bunch of damage when you have max party gauge, which is the little blue bar in the top left-hand corner during fights. So the other reason why positional attacks are important in fights is because that builds up the party gauge faster. So I'll be looking for that to help build the party gauge up early, so Melia and Nene can get in their positions and build it up even faster. So we can get some Union Strokes off on a lot of the boss fights, which is what we need. Right, because I'll be skipping dialogue and doing a bit of walking for the next minute or so. Jono, if you've got anything you need to talk about, feel free to go now.
Well, thank you very much. We are, of course, here at UKSG raising money to support Crisis, a charity supporting people out of homelessness for good. They achieve this through education, training, and support with housing, employment, and health. 90% of your donations will go towards supporting Crisis, and 10% will go towards helping UKSG support future events. Here's more about what they do in their own words. We help homeless people find and keep a rented home. We do this by working with landlords to ensure a supply of places to live and giving homeless people the tools and knowledge they need to rent successfully. Our Housing Resource Center provides information and training for housing professionals. The Help to Rent database list provides sector renting schemes across the UK. Back to you, Rebel.
Hell yeah. So, I collected that landmark there because I'm going to need it in a minute. So, what you're meant to do is you're meant to just walk straight on, and we're supposed to be heading towards kind of the top of this, of the Bionic Shoulder, which is where this entire mini-episode takes place. But instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go collect a landmark for a dungeon that we need way later in the run, so we can just walk back here, because it's slightly faster to go this roundabout way of movement now. So, over here, there's a bunch of enemies that love to attack you, so I'm going to be trying to avoid them because, yeah, getting hit slows you down and you lose time, which is lovely. So over here is Zen's Thoroughfare, which is a landmark that we need in a little bit's time. Watch out for the big gorilla and the lizard. Hell yes, I avoided them. Common landmark. There's the landmark. Alright, cool. So now what I'm going to go is I'm going to go do a skip over here. So in this game, when you fall large distances, you take damage based on a percentage of your health. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be trying to fall in a particular way so then I don't die from what I'm about to do. So I'm going to fall down here. Wait for my HP to come back. Then I'm going to fall down here and land on top of this big rock. I have just skipped about 2 to 2.5 minutes worth of walking and an entire landmark location. Yeah, so just falling in that particular way. Get over the rock, please, Shulk. Oh my god, Shulk, just please. So falling in that particular way skips a lot of walking around. So, and also we don't need the landmark location that we skip, so we never have to turn around and go back there, which is just incredibly useful. So what I'm doing is I'm going over here, and this is an area which you're meant to come in to way later in this small adventure. So everything is incredibly high leveled compared to you, and they love to aggro onto you. So there is some lovely big dinosaurs around here that look incredibly scary. See, level 71, 11 levels above me. But it's fine, I'll just run past them, they can't kill me. Most of them are pretty docile when they don't aggro onto you. The Velociraptor electric thing up here, whatever it's called, yeah, the plasma dinos will aggro onto you if they see you. But normally they don't look at you, so you're normally fine. Oh, another thing aggroed onto me there. Right, we're nearly there, up around here. So I picked up the landmark location of Zephyr's console back there, because basically I'm going to walk back there when I get the landmark location for I can't remember what it's called. It's something quarry, but it's basically the temple thing over there. By the way, there's a big dino there and a lovely big giant there. Yeah, so we're going to grab the landmark location for this thing over here, and then we're going to walk back because we don't need to do anything over here. We're going to go to Zephyr's console. Council, whatever it's called. Alright, so now we can actually move on with what we were supposed to be doing. So now we walk around here. Alright, so the next two landmark locations we're going to go through. Basically, one of them we go back to a couple of times, but then we're going to go up into Alchemoth, and that's when we get to do more with the Pond Spectres. So what the Pond Spectres are is they're little quest givers that when you complete their quest, they kind of join your party as these little DPS things. There's like 12 to 15 of them. I can't remember the exact number off the top of my head. It'll come up on the little bar when we get the next one. How many there are. But basically, by grabbing them, it increases the damage that your Union Strike does, and they are very useful because they just do additional damage to enemies. We grab the minimum amount that we need to fight the bosses that we fight during this run, especially the final one, because the final one is really silly. Because as you can imagine, we're not going to fight many enemies outside of the required ones because we don't want to waste our time. And because it's on casual mode, we just don't need the XP. So I'm going to quickly do that. That saves about a second and a half. Skip travelling to the location that you just got. It skips you forward into it a little bit because normally most landmarks, the bit that gives you the landmark is a lot bigger than where the landmark location actually spawns you when you teleport to it. So you can save a second or two just like walking to it as soon as you unlock it. Alright, so we're coming up to the big bridges. Alright, so while I'm walking over the bridges, Jono, if you've got anything you want to talk about, feel free to go ahead here as well.
Well, of course, we would like to thank ESA for supporting this marathon. Besides providing us with their channel for streaming, they are sharing gear, technical assistance, and sponsors. So be sure to check out ESA's next event, ESA Winter 2022, which is happening sometime in February 2022. Well, I know I'm looking forward to that. Are you looking forward to that, Rebel?
Hell yeah. I haven't been to. ESAs are always a fun time to do stuff with, both online and actually attending the event. So, you know, hopefully attending events comes back soon, but, you know, that's very dependent on how everything keeps going. Right, so we're nearly at the end of the massive walking section. Sorry, this is about 10 minutes of me just collecting landmark locations. I can't talk. But once we got this tower with all this, we go into Alchemoth, and then we actually get some combat in a second as well, because, you know, this is actually an RPG. Alright, so tower up here. There's a lovely enemy there. Some of the names in this game are just actually hilarious to me. I can't say half of them without stuttering. Because they're just such weird names. Alright. There we go. So now we're in Alchemoth. I'm going to do another quick skip travel as I come in here, because the landmark gives it to you here. But it actually teleports you right up to where a cutscene trigger is, so we can use that to just save a few seconds of us walking. So over here is Mr. Dry. So Dry here asks us to go collect some feathers for him or something. So we're going to go over here. Cool. Another thing that can happen is when you accept quests, you can sometimes get what's called flavor text with party members. So sometimes Melia will react to you accepting the quest. Luckily that didn't happen there. They only lose about half a second per one, but it is something that does lose you time. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be grabbing 4 of these, skip traveling, and then grabbing the last one. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here, jump up to here to grab this landmark location, collect the last 3 from over here. Also, something that I need to make mention of is when you're gathering locations and landmarks, not only do they give you skip travel locations, when you discover a new location that isn't a landmark, you also get EXP from it as well, so it also helps that we do a little bit of exploring because we do get a little bit of EXP. So that does help in the long run. So with this text, we got us another Pond Spectre. Alright, so now up we go. Alright, so now we're going to get a tutorial for the Pond Spectres in this upcoming fight. because we haven't been in combat. So quickly while we're running up here, take a drink. Alright. I'm making use of a good feature called auto run. So when this, whenever there's a straight, I usually use auto run, so I maintain the line that I choose to make sure that I don't stray from it. Alright, so this is the Snowball Taos. And we're gonna skip through that text. Use Shadow Eye. Gonna try and get defense drop. I don't know if we got it or not, I didn't see. But we're gonna just go nuts with arts, and hopefully it got a defense drop so we get through this fight a little bit faster. Alright. That. Do the Monado Buster for extra damage. I don't know if you got the defense drop, this is kind of slow. But oh well. Alright. Quickly heal up so it doesn't kill me. So even though Shulk's like a DPS character, he does have like a small heal ability, which is kind of useful. That was okay. No defense drop means that was kind of a slow fight, but that's fine. Not much you can do about that. Right. So the move that I use first, Slit Edge, where Shulk kind of stabs the opponent from the side. Basically, if you get the positional buff off of that, not only do you get additional damage, it also drops enemy physical defense, so we need that for a few times throughout the run. That's one of the places where you do need it. It saves like a few seconds to get it, because it just makes it so the first number of attacks that you do to it do more damage, which is very useful. Because Nene's a physical attacker, so all of her attacks are physical, so all of her damage is increased. Melia's attacks are all like magic and elemental based. We did give her a topple art, which is the Starlight Kick, whatever it's called, because we need that for a little bit later for a couple of boss fights, just to make them a little bit easier to deal with, because Nene has some break stuff. Alright. Oh. Need to go there. Alright, we're going to do another full skip here, because we don't want to walk all the way around, because that is slow. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk over here and we're going to fall. And take about 3,000 damage. Hell yeah. Alright, cool. Alright, so what's happening now is, now that we've been to Alchemoth and we saw Fog King after fighting that Snowball Taos, and we're going to go and ask the other small villager people about how to deal with it. So the whole story of this small DLC is, I say DLC, but this small after story thing is all based around trying to deal with the Fog King, which is just this entity that no one knows how it exists, but it exists and it infects like animals and other things around it. So we're just going to go and see if we can deal with it. So the way we deal with it in this run is, in the story, is we need to go find some basically higher forms of ether, which is like the power source of all the equipment and stuff in this world. But we do that after some more fights, so don't worry. We got some combat coming up in a second. After we go see some more characters. So in this small village here, there's actually multiple races. So in the village that we went to earlier, up Companion Cape, that's nothing but high-end tier. So they basically defected from this group. So over in this group we have a mixture of humans, Machina, and high-end tier. So Machina are from another like land thing called the Mechonis, if you know the original story of Xenoblade Chronicles, and obviously they started living over on the Bionis at the end of that story. But basically this is just a couple of small factions of them, of humans, high-end tier, and Machina living up here. There is a Pond Spectre here. We don't do his quest because it's slow. We're going to go grab a different one. So that's another quick skip travel to save about a second. I'm going to go do the only shop menu in the run. Alright, so this guy here is going to take all of our cash because we need a weapon for Nene for later. So this man here is going to take all our money. There's all our money gone. grab that landmark location. So we're actually going to go do another Pond Spectre quest right now. So you can actually pick up the item for this Pond Spectre quest early. So we're going to go grab the item, then go accept the quest, and then complete it instantly. And this one's called Tutu. He's lost his mirror. We're just gonna go get his mirror back and give it to him. And once we got that, we have 3 Pond Spectres, and that is enough for us to deal enough damage with our Union Strikes to beat the game. So that's what we're gonna do. So another reason why we grab the 3 different ones is we have one of each color type. So the red types are the power. We have the blue, which is healing. Then we have the yellow, which is things like which it inflict other stages elements like daze, which is like a stun. So, so just in case after we use our red Union Strike, you can sometimes get something called an extra chance, which gives you use of another one of the attacks for free. So just having one of each makes it so in case we get an extra strike, we can do one of the other attacks for free. Right, it's slightly faster to skip travel back to the beginning of Prayer Rock, which is where we are. So we're going to go over here, and you can see Tutu's little quest marker over there. We're going to go talk to him. And he's going to join us on our quest. And then we're going to go and deal with some of the infected animals from the Fog King. So while I'm doing this, Jono, if you've got anything you want to talk about, please feel free to do so.
Absolutely. Well, we would also like to thank BSG for supporting this marathon. They hold bi-monthly gatherings in the Netherlands. They have supported UKSG from the beginning by spreading the word and providing us with a channel to stream on in past sessions, among other things. And mark your calendars because their next event is coming soon and is streamed on this very channel, so you won't need to go very far to watch it.
Hell yeah. Right. So, we're going to continue the story a little bit, which is go talk to this Machina. And we're going to do a quick menu here. That weapon I brought is going to go on Nene real quick. Hang on. Actually, equip that, please. We're going to art. So we're going to level up some of our arts just to make them a bit stronger. So we're going to level up Monado armor because we need that a lot. Backslash is incredibly powerful, so we're going to level that up. Level up Shadow Eye and level up Light Heal just in case we need it. And we're going to level that up. What the hell am I doing? Need that one. Hammer Beat needs to be leveled up. Feather Swing needs to go up twice. Sword Drive goes up once. Last Hand goes up once. This one goes up twice. Then we're going to put Last Hand over Lariat. Go up here. Alright, cool. So that was the only other menu we do in this run. We do 2 menus. One at the start and one there. So the strat for this fight is I'm going to set my partners to go on to focus attack, which means I'll focus on the enemy that I'm on. And I'm going to try to get the physical defense drop. Do that, do that. Okay, it's not going to work out the way I want, so we're just going to do the backlog, which is just deal with the one that I was locked onto originally. I can do some stuff just to get through this. Cool, that's fine, that's that dealt with. Now I can just get this guy. That's fine. Getting knocked down here is kind of normal because you just do go hand with commands. Cool. Right. Oh. Drop my input there. Right, so now we've got some leg armor we got to deal with. So again, party on focus attack. I'm going to go to the side. We Shadow Eye. Physical defense down. Do that, do that, do that. And then do that, then to that. So then everything takes largest amounts of damage. And you just go nuts on this guy to end it. If I could, yeah, cool, that was fine. Right, so there's a character that got introduced a little bit more in the story called Galgar. Yeah, he's not really important until right now, where he decides that he wants to go cause some trouble for these high-end tier in this little lab here. So we're just gonna stop him from doing that. So what I want to hear is I want to do that to get defense drop, then use the Union Strike. And this just plays a little cutscene where you have to press B at the right time. I'm not doing very well right now because that was not a lot of damage. Yay. So the higher the bar goes, the more damage it does. So basically, that was not a lot of damage, and that was kind of pitiful. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm just going nuts with commands. Oh, someone toppled him. So toppling. So there's 3 kind of afflictions that you can put on enemies in this game that aren't strictly things like poison and stuff like that. So there's a state called a break, which is a thing that leads into what's called a topple, which then leads into a daze. So the whole idea is you like combo these enemies with like specific moves, so then you can knock them over to do 3 damage to them. That was a very slow fight because I did very poorly on the Union Strike. So that's him gone from the story now. Right, so I mentioned earlier that we'll be going to collect some high ether. We're about to do that now. So we're going to go talk to the soldier over here, and if I get lucky, he'll be walking towards me. I'm not getting lucky, he's walking away from me. If he walks towards you, you save like a second. And whenever he turns around, he's just not, you're just not able to talk to him, so you need to hope that you get to him before he turns around to move. So there's another high end tier over here, which we need to go talk to. And then there is a lovely old lady by the graveyard that we need to go talk to. And she tells us where to go to grab the high ether from. And it's the quarry I grabbed earlier. So I'm just going to quickly go past this guy's text. Go down here. Go over here and jump in the water. So this is the closest skip travel point to her. So, and we still have to walk quite a way to get to her, sadly. That's just the Xenoblade curse. Oh, my control's going to run out of battery if I'm not careful. And at a time like this, I can't find my... Oh, I found it. Talk to me while I manage your text. It's this one here. Where are you? Okay, cool. Give me a second just to plug in my controller. There we go. I'm now not going to run out of battery. Alright, so this one I grabbed earlier. So this entire area is like a small dungeon full of spiders and other incredibly high-leveled enemies. Normally we would not be able to walk through here without getting absolutely obliterated. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump over this, because we want to take the damage from the fall, aggro that thing, so then our health doesn't come back, aggro this thing and walk close to the wall so it deals damage to us. Nice, that was a nice damage roll on that. So, and try and keep it aggroed, so we aggro all these guys over here, and these guys should attack us when we get up here. Cool. And then go over here, that guy should attack me. So the reason why I'm jumping when I get attacked is so I don't get stunned. So what I've done here, I grab that landmark location, and when you die in this game, you go back to your last landmark location. So I spawn past all the enemies, so you can just run up here and grab what you need and leave. Hell yes, there's my high ether. And also you don't need to go and see the what the hell? Where's the thing I need? There it is. So you also don't need to go see the Machina before you go to the cave to get it, which is just another small optimization. Alright, so now we've got nothing but combat for the rest of this now. So I'm going to go up here. There's another infected animal that we need to deal with. This mammoth over here. Set my party members to focus, and we're going to try and topple lock this guy. So I'm going to try and get a defense drop on him. Oh, cool, we got the topple on him, so I'm going to... I mistimed my thing there, that doesn't matter too much. Oh, nice, we got a topple on him again. Sure. And also, I don't want to use my Union Strike here either, because I need it for the fight afterwards. So, the whole idea is we just want to keep topple locking this guy. He should get toppled in a second here, because both Melia and Nene have a top art. He didn't do it, nice. Oh, I missed both of my attacks there. Lovely. This is going swimmingly. Right. No defense drop yet again, which is kind of annoying. Alright, so that right there, that's called an Affinity Burst. I don't really need one right now. God, we can't get a break on this guy, dude. This is not going well. Oh, then I missed. Okay, good. We got a top line in now. Kind of annoying, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go. Yeah, switch down like that. Just to get some stuff. Very slow fight because I could not get the break on him. So the way break works in this is you have to hit an attack and then that attack has a chance to break. But enemies have break resistance stuff. I don't know that thing's break resistance, but that man was resisting the break. Cool, so do that. Right, so for this one you want to get 2 perfects worth of bonus damage and then you want to whiff one of them, so that's perfectly fine. Because you want to build up a little bit of bar for the next boss fight after this. Do that. That. And he'll die before I get anything in. Yeah, that was kind of... that Union Strike did a lot more damage than I thought it would. That's fine, but if you get 3 perfects, that thing just gets obliterated. So, now we're going to fight the dinosaur. A nice Dinosaurus. Sauros or something. He's going to try body us. So, oh, nice graphics there. Sometimes when you load into this game, it does take a minute for the graphics to catch up to it. So, gotta do that, do that. Actually gonna do this. Just oh, oh. Hell yes. I'm going to whiff this a little bit because I want to build up my talent gauge a little bit again. So I need to make sure that I do that. Cool. That was perfect. Right, so actually coming up on the end of the run. And by end, I mean I'm probably going to die to the boss that's coming up because this boss is really difficult. Right, so I'm going to save before going into this fight because if you lose to the final boss fight here, the Fog King, there are 2 phases of him. Both of them can easily kill you, and if you die to either one of these phases, it kicks you back to the title screen. So yeah, I'm going to save to make sure I'm all good. So because I've got a bunch of party gauge, I'm actually going to aggro the enemy that's up here to try and maintain as much of it as possible. So I have some party gauge going into the fight itself. So I just want to make sure I lock onto this enemy. I'll probably only have about just under a bar going into it, but that's perfectly fine. That's all I need. I just need a little bit to make sure that I'm all good. I also hit level 66 as well, which is very nice. It means I means I got all the bonus EXP that I needed, so I'm actually at a decent level as well. Normally you go into this fight at level 65 and it's kind of difficult to do it at level 65. Kind of difficult. But luckily I'm level 66, so it should be a little bit easier. So up here is the point of no return, which is Melia's quarters. But I'll quickly save before going in to make sure that I'm all good. Alright. So I'm going to quickly save that one. That save. The whole reason why we want to save is sometimes the autosave location isn't the best, and it does sometimes give you like some weird stuff, so we make sure we want to save. So here's Fog King. So at the start of this fight, I'm going to run up to the side of him, do that, and then put up Monado armor, and pray he doesn't use Erasing Mist. So this guy has a bunch of attacks that he can do. Most of them are pretty annoying. Mischarge is actually kind of okay. What Mischarge does is it doubles the damage of his next physical attack. Whatever that decides to be. Oh, nice. We got a topple, so we get bonus damage. That was kind of bad on the B pushes on my part, but that's perfectly fine. So now I'm going to try build up as much bar as I can. But I gotta make sure I get up that. Oh, I used a raising miss, but that's perfectly fine. Oh, I actually got the chance there. Nice. So I'm trying to build up my talent gauge in the middle. So you build up the talent gauge by getting auto attacks in, which is where Shulk is just swinging. And this should be a Fog King 1 defeat, which is nice. And right, that's Fog King 1. So after that we get flung straight into a second fight with him. So because I've got a maxed up gauge, this should be fine. Right, I will try and call time at the right time. I missed one of the B buttons. No, this is gonna do like poop damage because of that. Oh well, but that's fine. Right, so the whole idea is you want to get rid of all the little guys that are like surrounding him. Those are the things that make this fight hard. He did use a raising miss, which is kind of frustrating. So what a raising miss does is it gets rid of all buffs. And this includes things like, sorry, I need to get his aggro onto me. Oh, all of that. Cool, his aggro's on me now. So I can build up my talent gauge now. And then I can be safe while I do this. And I can start building up some bar. Cool. And when he jumps down here, we can then go for another one of these. Cool, that was a max bar, which is very nice. Here, that. Just start going nuts with command. So what mispress does is mispress causes a topple on whoever it's targeting. And time should be coming up in about a second or so here. And that's time. Hell yes, I actually beat Fog King on the first try. That fight's very difficult, so I was expecting to get actually obliterated by that fight. So yes, that was Xenoblade Chronicles Future Connected. It's a very nice, light, shorter RPG run of a Xenoblade game. So if you're ever looking for one to get into, then this is probably a good one to start with, outside of Fog King bodying you. But yeah, hopefully that was enjoyable for you. Yeah, that's it from me. I believe we've got Argit Connects doing Star Fox, so stick around for that because that'll be really entertaining.
We have indeed. Once again, thank you very much, Rebel. Chat is showing some great appreciation right now. Do you want to know your time?
Yeah, sure.
You got a 36:30.
Well, that's not bad for no reset in that game.
That is a pretty solid time. And yes, as Rebel said, next up, Star Fox 64 with Argic. Please stick around. We'll be right back after the intermission. Thank you.